Good morning. Good morning. It's going to be a beautiful day today. Hey, the sun is up. Can you see that? Oh, and Indy just came in and had me look out my window because we had the gardener transplant some cactus and it only blooms at night, but the sun's not quite up yet. So it's already blooming. Oh, it's so beautiful. If you've never seen a cactus flower, there's just, I guess, because I don't know, maybe it's just that you don't expect cactus to have beautiful flowers, but they do. Well, the ones that bloom do anyway. Good morning. Good morning, Tracy. Happy Veterans Day. Isn't it weird to say Happy Veterans Day? Shouldn't we just say thank you for Veterans Day? I remember my father was the head of reliability for Minuteman Missile. And I knew he worked on space stuff, on space launches and missiles and rockets and things like that. I knew he was a aerospace engineer, right? And I can remember when he was a kid, sometimes he would have his briefcase handcuffed to his wrist to go on a trip. I just thought that was, kind of like James Bondy. I didn't really think too much about it. And I knew he was in those underground silos, I think like in Alabama or something. I don't know where they were. But I think I mentioned before that as kids, we were just upset that my father didn't know movie stars. All he knew were scientists and politicians, like that. It was like, ew. Anyway, why am I telling you this? Because I knew he did those things, but I really didn't know much about it. And then one day I was watching television. I was already an adult. I was married by then. And it was a program, a special on Minuteman Missile. And I thought, wow, I should watch this. It's all about my daddy, right? Yeah. And then I found out what Minuteman Missile did, that it was our defense system. And they were set to, if there was danger, you push a little button and these missiles go off and blah, blah, blah. I was so angry. Now you have to remember the time, okay? This was the late 60s, early 70s. No war toys, no more war. We were just coming out of Vietnam. I was married to a veteran. We just wanted peace on the planet. I called my father and I started yelling at him. Do you know what those missiles of yours do? Do you know they kill people? And I was like in a rage over Minuteman Missile. And my father waited until I calmed down and he said to me, "We are defending America so you can sleep at night." Oops. He said, "We don't just send these things off. These are to protect you and defend you." So, thank you to my protectors and my defenders. There have always been those people in my life. God willing, there will always be those people in my life. And when need be, I can be my own defender and protector. Sad that we even need that, isn't it? Okay, well, it's Bonza Bottler Day. Remember what that is, do you? Because I think it was Opa who taught me that. It's when the date of the day and the date of the number of the month are the same. So it's 11/11. So that's a Bonza Bottler Day. And I can't remember why. Steven said, no politics here, please. That's not politics, is it? Oh my God. I guess I'm more political than I thought if I was doing politics. I was just thanking those who serve. Yep. It's Red Lipstick Day. Can we talk about red lipstick? Okay, so I don't know if you've noticed this. These are about the smallest lips a human being could possibly have and still call them lips. My father had small lips. I know that's where I got them because my mother always wore lipstick and it looked good on her. In fact, up until, I don't know, 6 months ago, she was still wearing lipstick. Sometimes she doesn't wear it anymore. Anyway, I did television, and they had to put makeup on me. Yeah, look, I still have a couple of pink fingernails. I'm kind of letting them, like go off in their own time. Anyway, so they used to put red lipstick on me when I did television, and I could never understand how they did it because I would come home and I couldn't do it. I can't put lipstick on no lips. How do you do that? So I didn't even own a lipstick because there was no point in it, right? And one day my daughter, who was oh, I would say maybe even 20 at the time, said to me, or maybe she was only 16, whatever it was, she said, "Mom, we got to get you some lipstick. You got to be a grown up." Oh, yeah, she was a teenager. So we went to the local Macy's to the makeup department, and we were standing there, and I was kind of lost. I knew I wanted red. That was all I knew for sure. But I didn't know one kind from the other. And this absolutely beautiful, I mean, like model gorgeous African American young lady came over and said, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Yes. I know this is going to be hard to believe, but I don't own a lipstick. And my daughter here thinks I need to own a lipstick, so I want to buy a lipstick." She said, what kind do you want? I said, "I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I've never owned one. All I know is I want red." She said, "Well," oh, and I said, "And I'd like you to help me figure out how to put it on these lips." So she said to me, "Well, what color do you want?" I said, "Red." She said, "Okay." And she brought out like 3 or 4 different choices of red. And she said, "Well, I can show you how to do this. Now, what do you want to look like?" And being the flip, funny person that I am, I said, "I want to look just like you." "Okay," she said to me, and went to work. I still remember the day like it was yesterday. She drew her lips on me. I swear to you. I swear to you. It was like I Love Lucy. I mean, she drew the biggest lips on me. It's like I could not stop laughing. Donnie and I just we had to leave. We had to leave because we were going to pee in our pants if we stayed 1 second longer. We could not stop laughing. Yes, I said I want to look like you, so she literally drew lips the same size as hers on this little face with these no lip. You had to be there. Anyway, it was pretty funny. Oh, Claire's? What's Claire's? She didn't want to take you to Claire's. My daughters lived. Oh, Claire's is where I didn't know they had makeup. I knew they had like little accessories. That's the Donnie used to go there sometimes. Anyway, yeah, so that's my red lipstick story. I don't wear red lipstick anymore, but I wear red toenail polish. Yeah, that's my homage to lipstick. I just don't do it. It doesn't make any sense. Look, seriously, and when I smile, I have no lips. I have a bottom lip, but that's about it. Okay. Oh, Ginny, thank goodness you found us. You didn't miss much, except you might want to go back and listen to my red lipstick story because you probably have a similar one if I know you. All right. It is National Homunculus Awareness Day. Homunculus? Homunculus. I don't know how you say it, but they're very tiny, perfectly formed little humanoids. I don't get it. I think this goes back to well, it's more than science fiction because I read I looked it up because I was so, what is this? Because I'm always talking about little humanoids. These are like perfectly formed little tiny humanoids, or they're little people whose main body parts for that person are bigger than the rest of their body. I don't know. But I like to think about it as for instance, there was at some point in time, it was believed that men's sperm had little tiny, perfectly formed human beings inside each little sperm. Yeah. Like each sperm had a little tiny, perfectly formed body in it. And it had to get to an egg and I mean, but it doesn't even make sense, does it? Like if you said the egg had one, I I don't get it. Okay. Um anyway, that's today. Also National Sunday Day. We have Sunday on Wednesday. So you might want to come home tonight and make sure you have chocolate syrup, nuts, bananas, strawberries. What do you like on your Sunday? a cherry on top. Some people like peanuts, I guess, a couple of different kinds of ice cream. Make it, and I guess it's a sundae, so you have to have like all different kinds of sauces, maybe some not maple. What is that? Butterscotch? I what you can tell what I use and don't use, huh? Anyway, get all the ingredients. That's dessert tonight. You can skip dinner. You have my permission. Just go straight for the sundae on Wednesday. It can happen. Origami day. I remember, I think it was when my daughter's friend Rachel got married, they had like thousands of origami pieces hanging from the ceiling. Yeah. I mean, like somebody took the time to make gazillions of little tiny, all different kinds of origami creatures. It was like walking into a fairyland. It was really cool. All right. So, did you know Veterans Day actually started out as Armistice Day? It was celebrating the end of World War One. Yeah, and then they changed the date and they added some other reasons to have the holiday. Then they changed it to a Monday because we had this law that said all holidays had to fall on Mondays so people could have the weekend off or something like that. And then they changed it back to today. This is also the day that the Vietnam Memorial was dedicated in Washington. 58,000 people, names on that wall, including Mark Warren Judge, who I was pinned to before he was killed in Vietnam. That happened my first year in college. It was the 60s. It wasn't a very happy time. And this isn't a happy story, but some of you might even remember this because this was back in, I'm going to say, Mark was killed in like 68. So this must have been like 69 or 70, maybe even 71. For some reason, there were some graves dug up, and they found out that the bones inside didn't match the dog tags, that inadvertently they had buried the wrong people in the wrong graves with the wrong dog tags, and they didn't know who was dead and who was alive and who was where. And we got a notification that one of those 3 or 4 people out of the gazillions on the planet was Mark Judge. That when they dug up his grave, it wasn't him, and they didn't know where he was. So they buried nothing. It was the weirdest situation. So they did they did a bunch of exhuming, is that what it is? Graves, trying to figure out how they could have messed up like that, and were these people really alive? And I remembered thinking for years that somehow he lost his dog tags, but he was really alive, and any day he could come knocking on my door and saying, "Surprise, I was a prisoner of war, I wasn't dead." Yeah, it was the weirdest thing, but it was it was a national news story. It was all over all the papers. It was everywhere. I had a friend in high school who ended up being a senator, and my other friends and I called him and said, "Hey, you got to help us out on this. This is crazy." And he went to work for us, but we never did find Mark's remains. Yeah. So he's like in an empty casket somewhere. I know it's a weird story. Anyway, let's go back to caramel topping. That was more fun. It's Singles Day. Singles Day. Yes, it is. So if you are not with someone, congratulations. This is your day. And you get to choose. Do you want to stay single? You want to meet somebody? It's up to you. Go do it. You know you can have it whatever way you want it, right? Here's to you. This is my coffee is a hug in a mug. And it meets all my qualifications because it has the same words on both sides. It's not too heavy, and it keeps my coffee hot. And it was a present. Thank you, Stephen. So good. So good. Happy birthday. Isn't this appropriate? Old Blood and Guts was born today. You know who that was? George S. Patton. Is he a 5-star general? 4-star general? I don't know. But he was born today in 1885. Remember when George C. Scott played Patton? I can't think of Patton now without thinking of George C. Scott, because to me, he is Patton. Jonathan Winters was born on this day. Jonathan Winters, you know, he was Robin Williams' like idol. He was the idol. One of them was the idol, and the other, Robin Williams wanted to be like Jonathan Winters. Jonathan Winters was hysterical, and it was so bizarre that they brought him back, and he played the son of Mork and Mindy on Mork and Mindy. Yeah, Jonathan Winters, chubby little, played the baby. Pretty funny. Demi Moore. She was in Ghost. She was married to Bruce Willis. Yeah, they had a cute little daughter who happened to be at a bat mitzvah I was at. That was like the big deal. Did you know Bruce Willis and Demi Moore's daughter is here at the bat mitzvah? Look, that's her right there. And all I cared about was, do you think her dad's going to pick her up when it's over? I just wanted to see Bruce Willis. I didn't care about Demi Moore or her. Anyway, Demi Moore, she was in Ghost. She was in St. Elmo's Fire. Remember, there were a whole lot of then young kids who became stars in St. Elmo's Fire. That was like a big deal. But here's what you might not have known. Before all of that, Demi Moore was on General Hospital on television. Who knew? I know, who cares? Anyway, moving right along. I'm listening to a book on tape right now called Lifeboat. And it's about a boat that sank and people in the lifeboat. And I don't know, it's got some kind of a murder trial mixed in with it. I'm not really sure, but it's interesting to listen to what these people are going through as they're in this lifeboat from this giant ocean liner that's sunk. And they keep making reference to the Titanic, which brings me to another birthday today, and that is Leonardo DiCaprio. What is it about him? I mean, if you look at him, he's nice looking, but he's not like heartthrobby gorgeous, I don't think. I don't know. Anyway, it's his birthday today, so Leonardo DiCaprio, happy birthday. Back up for just a minute. Tracy said that Demi Moore made history posing nude when she was pregnant with this little girl that I met at the bat mitzvah, right? And Ginny says that was a beautiful photo. I agree. It was an absolutely gorgeous photo. I can remember the first time I saw a pregnant woman wearing a two-piece bathing suit, and the top was just a bra at the beach. And there was her big pregnant belly sticking out. And at first I thought, oh, how can she do that? And then I looked again and I thought, isn't that beautiful? Yeah, there's like a little humanoid in there, almost like a homunculus. Now I sound like Ponder, don't I? Homunculus. Okay, Louis Armstrong and his Hot Five had their first recording session on this day in 1925. Hello, Dolly. I mean, come on, seriously. I did have a close encounter of the second kind with him at Disneyland. Totally unexpected. He was performing at Disneyland. I got to sit in the first row. I could like feel those little beads of sweat that he keeps wiping off while he plays. I could feel him falling on me. I'm calling it the second kind because we didn't hang out, okay? But I was like so close to him. Yeah, I think that was like the luckiest break of my life because he was awesome. Yes. This is so funny. In South Australia in 1988, remember we talked about Guinness Book of World Records just yesterday. Out of the Guinness Book of World Records, the world's loudest scream happened in South Australia on this day. It was 128 decibels, which is approximately as loud as a jet plane from 50 feet away. That's a screamer. We got a screamer. Okay, this is also the day that Typhoid Mary died and made the world a safer place for people. She was like the first healthy, what's the word for that? Carrier. Yeah, she was a typhoid carrier, they found out. She was a cook. And everywhere she cooked, she was spreading typhoid, even though she never had it. So they put her in quarantine for a while, figured out it was her. There were like 50 people that got typhoid from her, even though she never had any symptoms. And then they put her in quarantine for a while. She came out of quarantine and became a cook again and started spreading typhoid again. So they actually quarantined her for the rest of her life. And she died on this day in 1938. So we can't blame her for COVID, although it would have been convenient. All right. I didn't even copy the whole Hawaiian name because there was no way I could pronounce it. But in 1917, the last Hawaiian monarch, the Hawaiian queen, Lili'uokalani, yeah, she died. Her last name, I mean, her full name was like little teeny letters this long. She was, besides being, and the reason I even mention that is if someone says, sing some Hawaiian song, what are you going to sing? You always sing the same song, right? Aloha, ui, aloha, ui. That's not a song. That's just a title. I don't own the rights to that. She wrote that. Yeah. The Hawaiian queen wrote that song. Yeah. It says, see you later, dudes. Yeah, she checked out. Anyway, it was like really weird because last night or yesterday, I got a message from a friend with all this gibberish in it, with a lot of olis and kamana mana, mela mela, ili aka uka aka. It looked like a paragraph of Hawaiian words. And all it said was, can you figure this out? And I thought, hey, I'm not the Hawaiian princess, dude. So I wrote back and I said, what are you talking about? And the response was, I don't know what I'm talking about. I know. Coincidence? I think so. All right, musically, what's going on today? This was so cool. Bill Haley and the Comets, right? Everybody knows Bill Haley and the Comets. In 1954, they had a #1 song with Shake, Rattle, and Roll. Yeah, Shake, Rattle, and Roll. Bill Haley and the Comets, right? Yes, but like the day before, that was not their name. They changed their name when they did this song and became famous. Before that, it was Bill Haley and the Saddlemen, and they did like country cowboy music. Then they switched to Shake, Rattle, and Roll, and history was made. We got Bill Haley and the Comets. I know, really. Okay. Steven. Oh, Tiny Bubbles by Don Ho. Good one. I hadn't thought about that. Would Baby Shark count as a Hawaiian song? I don't know. Steven, this is for you. This is for you because it's an Allman Brothers reference. Yeah. And by the way, my cousin Jeff loves the Allman Brothers too. So, Jeffy, if you're watching, this is for you also. Barry Oakley, who was part of the Allman Brothers, died on this day in 1972. He was in a motorcycle accident. He was riding a motorcycle and hit a bus and died. But the thing that's weird about it is it was the exact same intersection that we talked about a few days ago where Dwayne Allman was killed 1 year before. Yeah, I know, really, seriously. I don't know where that that intersection is, but if you are an Allman Brother or part of the Allman Brothers band, or you love the Allman Brothers, stay away from that intersection. You might want to Google it and find out where it is. It's dangerous, very dangerous. Okay, this one Donna Summer. When you think of Donna Summer, you think of Disco Queen, right? I mean, you think of disco. Donna Summer, 1978, Disco Time. But in 1978, her #1 song was MacArthur Park. I don't know. I don't think of that as disco at all. Richard Harris had a hit with it like 10 years before in 68. And then in 78, Donna Summer had a hit with, yeah, I don't know. Didn't really affect me. Oh, Ginny's got another one that Bing Crosby sings. Melikamaka. Melikimaka. Hawaiian Christmas song. I don't know. I'm aloha oi all the way. I have a friend. Well, it's actually my daughter's friend, but she's my friend too, Miss Jillian. She is the most amazing hula dancer. Oh no, I have two people in my life, two who are like amazing, amazing, amazing hula dancers, and each one is yeah, part Hawaiian. I don't know. I don't know. Chemo's daughter, she's amazing. Jillian, she's amazing. It's such a beautiful thing to watch when somebody's doing it right, as opposed to what I was doing. Yeah, that's not so pretty. It's very, very, very beautifully feminine. Okay, today's word art. Stephen nailed it when he said that it's much like saying think before you act. Right. Think before you act is for sure, because today's word art is it's so much easier to fly if you spread your wings. Yeah. It's so hard to fly when you keep your wings in. Do the homework, do the prep work. Think before you act. Do whatever it takes to get what you want. Well, within reason. But you get the idea. It's like prior preparation prevents poor performance. Do what you need to do to get the job done. Like sharpen your pencils before you get to writing, like that kind of stuff. Yeah. There's a comment here that I like. Wait a minute. Oh, Ginny says, trust your wings. And Stephen says, most people act before they think. Isn't that the truth? Spread your wings, then fly. Stephen says we can have a luau outside when we get our new pool installed. And yesterday was the day to pick up the plans from the county and start digging, right? Wrong. Didn't happen. Now he says next Wednesday. Each week, it's another week. I don't know what the deal is, but it is not happening on my time schedule. That's for sure. So I'm not getting upset about it. It's like it'll happen when it happens, but it's really annoying. You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean. All right. Coffee. You're hugging a mug. Grab your coffee. Thank you so much for spending the morning with me. I love you madly. And my dog vomited in my bed this morning. But that's okay. It's clean now. Today's Thursday. All over the place. I wrote that today was Wednesday. Somehow I missed a day. Yeah, you're right. It's Thursday. I got to go back and change things now. I still love you. And it's Thursday, which means I got to go because I got to get ready for physical therapy that's happening fairly soon. I'm going to go work out a little bit. Yeah. See you guys on Friday. The weekend. Yes. Bye-bye.